The power of the dark side, 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 side.
Go readings, Earthlings. Martian is here, author of Red Planet Guardian. Remember that hashtag Red Planet Guardian, soon to be upcoming Indigo project. Breaking news is Star Trek Lower Decks, an animated comedy, has been guaranteed 2 seasons. It is bought and in the can. Not in the can, it hasn't been made yet, but they are going to make it. Being developed by Rick and Morty writer-producer Mike McCann. Looking like this is going to be probably, I don't know, maybe 6 months, a year out. We're looking for this, but apparently the first season is already done. They're saying here that this is going to be, about a support crew on one of Star Trek's least important ships. So they are definitely going for the underside of the Star Trek universe. Apparently he's saying he wanted to talk about the people that kind of make the rest of the ship go. Saying, he says here, Mike won our hearts with his first sentence. I want to do a show about the people who put yellow cartridge in the food replicator so banana can come out the other end. They're saying the guy's a true fan. His cat's name is Riker, son's name is Sagan, and that he is committed. Kurtzman, who we've talked about before, is heading up most of these projects now. He himself is supposedly coming up with a Wrath of Khan era project. That will, I think, is what everyone is looking and waiting for. Star Trek Lower Decks is the second of those to be announced, followed by the untitled Captain Picard show that was revealed in August and will feature the return of Patrick Stewart in his iconic role. Star Trek Academy series is also rumored. That we talked about before as a limited series based around the classic Wrath of Khan story. And then of course there is also a series entitled Star Trek Short Takes that are currently being run on CBS. Now, I guess they're saying Starfleet Academy is the Wrath of Khan story. I don't know about that, if that's necessarily true or not. I had heard the Starfleet Academy series was this was the thing that they have been talking about for years, since the 90s. They've wanted to do something called something similar to Police Academy, a comedy in the Star Trek universe. But Starfleet Academy and the Wrath of Khan would make sense too, because, as you know, the beginning of that was Kirk being an admiral over the Academy. Anyways, what we're seeing here, I talked about this before, they are going for the tipping point, because the problem with this show, no matter how good it can be, is that it has two things dragging it down. First, it's on CBS All Access. It's behind a paywall. That's a big problem because a lot of people can't see it. So no matter how good it is, no one can see it. And subscriptions are not great because the only thing they have drawing people in right now is Star Trek Discovery. And that was not well received. The second season may pump that up. I don't know. I don't think it will. The other problem, and this is, again, is another drag down, is that it has to be 25% different. This is the deal that CBS has with Star Trek. Anything that they show has to be 25% different than the original. Now, I don't know when this show is going to be set. That's not talked about. My guess is that it would be in the Next Generation universe. That, I think, has the most room for some kind of a comedy. it's the kind of perfect universe, and I think that kind of cries out to be made fun of. Also, there's a lot of stuff in Next Generation that cries out to be made fun of. Riker, Data, the feeling of Counselor Troy, the weird sexuality of the captain and them giving him love interests all the time. It's just, there's a Wesley, everything, Worf Man, everything cries out to be made fun of in that series. And, in some of the Deep Space Nine and Voyager, all that stuff would be a perfect universe to make a little fun at itself. That's my guess. But the problem, like I said, is that it all has to be 25% different. And this is the issue. If they make it that way, which they have to, if it's too different, fans aren't going to like it. Now, the big problem here, the other big problem is how long can you keep this comedy up? Comedies in this day and age are rough. It is really rough to get them to go. Because of the political climate, you can't make fun of anything. Everyone is perpetually offended, and you end up, with just goofy kind of slapstick comedy. The good thing about this, I guess, is that they have this established universe that they can make fun of. How long can that last? Well, they've got at least 2 seasons worth. Apparently, the first season is in the bag. They ordered another one. So this should be coming out pretty soon, I think, at least the first season. Again, as I talked about this before, is it enough? Is it enough of a tipping point? I don't think so, not yet. I still think you have to get to that magic number of 3. And this series of shorts, that doesn't count. That's not enough. You got to have another full whole series to go before you tip people over. And I don't even know if an animated series is going to be enough to do that. I think it's going to be before. I think the Starfleet Academy or the Khan era show, whatever that is, I think that's what they're going to need before they get enough people to tip and actually start joining this network. The problem is that now we're talking about the CBS All Access, which has got Star Trek. You're going to have a Disney network. You've already got Netflix and Hulu. And at some point, it's just going to be overwhelming, and people are just going to say no mas, and they're out. And they'll go back to maybe just Netflix or Hulu, and that's it. Hopefully, Disney will just take Hulu as their network and transform that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if you're a big Star Wars fan, you're going to have to get the Disney network because you're going to want to see the Mandalorian show, which I and a lot of other people are hoping is going to save Star Wars. What's going to save Star Trek, I think, is the Kurtzman Wrath of Khan story. I don't know. We'll see. But it's going to be too much. I think you're talking about 4 all-access networks, must-have shows or networks now, because if you're a fan of Fox comedies, those are gone on Netflix. You have to have Hulu now to get those. If you're a fan of Star Wars, you're going to have a network for that. If you're a fan of Star Trek, you're going to have a network of that. You're going to be basically getting back to what people were paying anyways for cable, and this is the whole reason why they came to streaming in the first place. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think, though, that this can all continue. I don't think people are going to they're going to pay for 4 or 5 or more streaming networks. But anyways, folks, that is the breaking news for today. I don't want to keep this going too long, but in short, Star Trek Lower Decks, made by writer and producer of Rick and Morty fame. So should be funny, should be good, and it's got Star Trek. I hope they don't mess this up. Let's hope this is not the dumpster fire that it could be, but I don't know. There's been, the people have had some issues with Rick and Morty. Its origins are a little creepy. Very creepy if you watch the first thing that was produced that started it. I don't know. I just don't know. Comedies in this era, not good. But anyways, everybody stay tuned. There will be more on this. Like, share, and really, please subscribe down there and hit that bell for further notifications. And stay tuned to that hashtag, Red Planet Guardian, for more updates. I am the Martian, and this has been your Martian Invasion for today. Later, folks. I am out.